I'll have to wait another night for them. And how's the other prisoners going? Alright. You're recruitable. Houston is recruitable. Sandy is not yet. I heard something break. You're recruitable. What just went boom? Is it the boomalope? Yes. Okay. That's fine. I just needed to check. I also have deep drills and stuff out here. I guess because I don't have as many haulers, these aren't being taken out places. That's fine. We'll slowly move that around the place. The other thing I could do is a little bit of cheap, but I don't know if this is going to get cut off to each door. I'm thinking it will. Yeah, it will. Alright. Lol. Alright, either way, I want all the storages up here. I guess what I want is I want like one kind of a storage. I don't know how these ones are all connected. Maybe because... Oh no, hold on. No, get gone. I think what would happen is if I went down into the bottom, it would count it. I kind of want like all the storage areas here. Give me the remove zones. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say that this whole area is a stockpile, which means it will count if I were to do a trade. But what I want to say is to not allow anything in here, because what it should force them to do is remove everything from in here. I'm not saying that they're going to like rush up here and move it, but it still counts as stuff that I have, which means that if a trader turns up, it will still count as existing, as opposed to just being on my map and not being able to sell it. Obviously, if the orbable trader happens to come across, I can't just sell it because it's not near one of those, but still. They should also refuel all the pods as well. Also, since I've got the people back here, you guys are kind of moving a bit quick. Let's keep you guys going. I want to send... I kind of want to send probably 3 little caravans if I could. Let's see. I want to send my people that can actually... I guess you 3 can go for 1. I don't want to send all my people out of here, but I do need to have at least a few people to be able to grab animals and shit. So, let's go for the stacks of stuff. Not the stacks of a panther. Hold on. Where's my thing for this? I want it to be by... Sure. By name. Alright. So I do want to send some animals over. I'm gonna mostly need... How do I do this? I haven't moved them for so long. In my boomloads to stay here. I guess we can take the fleet of the cats. I don't have a shit ton of meat, but I might have enough pemmican. Oh, geez, my neck. We'll see. We'll see what I've got. I don't want to take you. I do want Chipper to go over there. I want Chipper to get out. I wouldn't mind taking, like, maybe all the fucking birds and shit, because it's like... It is winter, but they should be fine kind of out on the road. Last time I tried to send a thing with the sheep, it like slowed them like right down. There's going to be a lot of animals. Alright, let's try that for a moment. Whoa. It's just like, I need all of your food. Okay, we don't have that kind of food. So, what I do have is I do have a shit ton of food here. I really would have thought that like 16,000 food would be a bit better for that, but apparently fucking not. I don't have any pemmican or anything like that. Okay. I guess it's time. I did almost send like the 5,000 food over last time, but I guess it's time I send some longevity foods. I know this is supposed to keep us alive, but my other location kinds of needs, I'm pretty sure I sent some of this stuff over at 1.2 when we had an issue with it being like outside. I have a shit ton of simple meals. I don't know if that's going to stay refrigerated inside of that, or if that might expire. I'd rather send these. I don't know if that'll be all of that, but let's send that over. And then, since I can't send like the ducks and the cats, I might be able to send a different caravan instead. So, let's try grabbing you three again. I might actually grab like an extra person, not Dark Eye, but what else can I grab? Maybe Sail? Doesn't really do much around that side of the colony. So what I kind of want... I've still got it like set to like allow them to grab whatever, but it's fine for the moment. I do want you guys to try to take a fleet of horses. If you could. Just like one category of animal at a time. So I obviously cannot take the meat-eating things over at the moment. I do want Chipper though. I know he eats meat, but I want him to go. What about like the cow situation? Could I take a fuck ton of these fuckers? Because they will also not necessarily produce milk and stuff on the way, but it would get them the fuck out of the side of the base. I've got a lot more resources at Minwick for this. And it's going to be a slow ass caravan. Okay, that's taking a hell of a lot of the food. All the pemmican, all the survival meals. A lot of the rice, but not all of it. That's like 55 days worth of food. I don't know if it's 55 fucking days of travel, mate. You can take 10 of the medicine. And I almost wouldn't mind them taking like the fertile eggs with them because they'll hatch at some point or they'll eat it. So whichever way that goes. I don't really want them to have like 55 fucking days of food. Take a little bit less of that. The kibble, I kind of don't want you guys to take kibble. I don't want you guys to take the pemmican. Survival meals, yes. And let's go with like 6 of that. It doesn't really take them that long to get there. It is winter that they'll be transiting in, so it could take them a while. But the worst case scenario is I don't really want them to arrive with too much food, but they have got like good carry capacity, so I've got a lot of wools and stuff here. I've got a trader coming for the drugs. We could take a shit ton of the steel, but I'd rather actually take some of the physical gear. I'd honestly also like to take all the, all of the stuff as well. I'll have to sell off some of this shit, honestly. Okay. We've got all the eyes. Oh, they made the eyes finally. Okay. Well, this caravan is probably for sure going to get attacked because of what I'm going to put in it. So I need somebody. Hex will have a mental break getting into the caravan. Cammy's a good fight. Dela Cruz is okay. Labia should stay here for trading for a moment. Lauren is crap. Mai is not a bad fighter. Frank is also not a bad fighter. I also don't want to take all my gunners because the last thing I need is a fucking mech raid. I haven't tried you yet. You're new. You can go with them. Crucia. I know you two have been in battle a couple of times. And it doesn't change the food too much. Alright, let's start loading shit up. The books are light. I can transport pod those. The hospital beds and crap. The deep drills are staying for the moment. I want to try to sell some of the beds. And I want to be able to sell some of these statues, but I also want to take some of them too. So take some of those, take the Masterworks, we'll get attacked for that. It's good sculpture. Let's take the steel beds. I don't know if I would sell the chairs, but I don't think they're too heavy to like launch either. iPhone popper can kind of stay. I sort of want to just pack up like a fuck ton of this stuff, but I really think that like steel's the one that like we have to pack out the most. So yeah, we'll go with that for the moment. It's still like so little. It's not a great fucking caravan, but at least it's a caravan. When we can get some more food over there, I'll send more. I'm also trying to make up as much food here as I can to have food ready for the people when they move over. But I also really need the fucking kitchen benches and enough cooks. Most of my cooks are still over there and stuff, but I need the food to be able to do the caravans and crap. So that 5,000 rice, I kind of regret throwing it back into my own storage because it was an interesting experiment, but this is, I could have used it over at the other place. I can only pack out like 5,000 at a pop at a time. But I also really want to get a few caravans out of there. But if I have too many animals for it, we could bring down the animal quantity a little bit more. Take you guys down to like 5. I don't really want to deal with the ones that can haul shit. And the young females, we could take you guys down to like, well, they'll get culled anyway once they hit like adulthood. So it doesn't really matter too much. But this is just like a surplus amount in case something happens to them. But they'll cull them. That's going to give us some meat here. Hopefully, as long as they don't cull too many at one time, in which case they'll struggle to get them into storage. But yeah, I'll leave them to do that. Hopefully we'll then have some meat, because then I can take like a fucking meat caravan out of here. It's like a logistical nightmare moving this many fucking animals, honestly. I kind of like feel like I need this many pods over here to get like some resources back just to get them here. Although, how many ducks can I fit in a pod? It's a valid question, don't it? Don't give me that look. Where is my animals? Because I can fit like baby animals, like a lot in here. That looks like an adult duck. I can fit 8 ducks per thing. That doesn't really feel like that's a great way to send them, but I have a lot of transport pods. So let's send all the ducklings, and then we can always cull if we have too many adults. I don't really want to send the cats via transport pods, but sure. That's kind of capacity, except for the guinea pigs. We can launch a couple of them. Some of those will like get too big and like weigh it out soon. I can always send like small animals, basically, because essentially once you've got like a few small animals over there, you can it's just too much. When you've got small animals, they can grow and shit, as opposed to like if they're adults, it'd be easier just to cull them off on this side. I can fit you too. Can't fit you. I think I've already got the ducklings allocated there. I think I already have that one allocated for another pod, but it's fine. Let's do that. I'm just gonna start sending animals this way because I need to get them over there. Like thrombos and shit, they're not gonna fit. Any of the adult animals probably not gonna fit. The baby panthers I can send. I can send like a panther. Really? Just one? Oh, I've got other shit in here. Okay. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I clicked on one that had stuff. Alright. Well, I might be able to fit more panthers in there, if that's the case. I might also be able to send small boomalopes as well. They're pretty heavy. Yeah, I'll send that. They're not going to be like fully fucking packed out, but we'll do what we can. I know my animals will eventually like eat all the crops and crap here. Like 90. There we go. A couple of panthers. Hopefully if they launch if they get them like fucking packed up quickly, maybe we can like, I don't know, get them over here and I can cull whatever I need to cull then. I can hear a guinea pig nearby, which means it's coming to get packed. The other thing too is I am concerned that my people might end up culling some of the animals in these, which is fair. I don't really want to send the panthers this way, but it could be a reasonable method to do it. The panthers here are still doing hauling. Boomlopes are still needed here, mostly. The smaller panthers though, I think I've got you two allocated, maybe. Let's see if I can fit a cow in here. Yeah, right. I feel like this is such a waste, but I have so much metal and I have so much chem fuel resources, I literally don't care that it's doing it this way. Pack in however many you can. Alright. Give that like a hot minute. I don't know if all the animals are just going to come up and get into them straight away. There's a lot of like small animals that are going to just get culled around the map and may not be available to go. Which I guess I can kind of fix that up for a moment. They would have culled some. I'll have to put them back. Well, I won't put all of them back. They did cull some. But, I think this was on 20. There's a bit of a back and forth. I haven't quite, like, exactly sorted out what I'm doing with my animal quantities. I sort of want to, like, have some of them culled off. I know that if I can send enough, like, juniors over to the other side of, like, tamed animals, calves and whatever, essentially what I can do is I can just, cull off those animals here and turn them into food. But yeah, I still gotta be able to send them in the first place. You guys going on a fire starting spree. As long as she's outside, I don't care too much. Pretty sure all of these benches can cook stuff. Okay, this might be why. Alright. You guys can do this shit forever. 5 mil, that's the same thing. Quick simple meal. I must have had this also as pemmican. Somebody needs medical treatment. There we go. I'm gonna set one of these benches forever. There's a pretty good idea that that would be why they haven't been cooking. We'll get you organs soon, B. Okay, these are at 4,000. This was one that I've sent over. This is one that I've sent. That's been sent. That one I just changed over. That one was built, not sent. Let's put an extra 0 on the end of it. We need them to just make until we've got like a shit ton. But I'm also going to pack up a heap of this stuff and send it away too. Hold on, that didn't resolve that. There we go. Yeah, sending the stuff back over kind of seems like counterproductive, but I know they need the food to be able to get over here. I don't know why you lot are all starving. There's literally crops everywhere here. I think it's because you guys were asleep, perhaps. You guys are in here getting the crops all harvested. You know, we actually do have a food storage for the animals here, but my people never take stuff down to it. You could have kibble. I'm sure they have raw resources too. Not like that. I mean, raw food. Vegetarian. They can have berries and potatoes and rice. I'm not too sure why. Like, when my stuff is like this close, they'll end up taking it up to like the other stockpile. Oh, yeah, Houston's joined. Mate, what is your bio? Undergrounder, plants, all the things. Yeah, I'll have to like, the hardest part at this point is I want to send a lot of stuff really quickly over. And to some degree, I have to wait for Dryden to kind of catch up food-wise. But I also kind of need them to get rid of a lot of the small animals. But I also need to make sure that Minwick has enough animals to be able to compensate and stuff. But I also need him to have enough meals here too. It's a really stupidly fine balancing act I've got going here at the moment. And it's kind of honestly difficult. I think if I didn't have... hold on, I got a cougar in the animal pen. I didn't realize that. I think if I didn't have like the two locations so far apart, I'd probably be able to send things just back and forth a lot easier. But it is like a week or so for them to travel between locations. So by the time one arrives and then goes back out and stuff like that, it just takes a bit. Kind of like how, like I had the long distance scanners and stuff to find resources, and I've currently got that turned off because we needed wood at one point, so I had to send them outside of the base. We've got wood here, but my people generally won't like just go and harvest it, but sending out a caravan means that I don't have my people here to do that. I need to trade with you guys like ASAP because I have your enemy faction coming to trade here. I teed up like the wrong pair of traders to arrive at the same location. I'm just looking for Labia. If I can find her, because I sent Johnson over to the other base. Where the fuck are you, mate? I literally can't see her. I did find Viper and Vulture, and I know both of you guys can fucking do talking. You could do talking. You could do talking well enough. Can you go and trade with them and then get them the fuck off the map, please? Because the other trader's gonna appear at like any minute. Which, speaking of, I do still need to call the fourth trader over at fucking Minwick. Who is near the thing? Lincoln, Cyprus. Seahorse can probably do a call. I've got better people that can do it. But you're kind of the closest. Yeah, you can do it. Can you call in? I'm pretty sure we've got to call yellow. I think they're the only ones we're missing, and I'm pretty sure I need a shaman. Because I accidentally got the bulk goods trader here, and I wanted exotic goods trader. But a bulk goods trader isn't going to be a problem because I still have enough stuff. I also still have enough gold that it's not really a problem. Really the only issue I've got here is like getting enough caravans full of the fucking steel and shit out of here. I'm actually thinking that like now that I've got this thing, there it is. Okay, I don't want you guys to use this. I just want to be able to see where resources are. There's a heap of it here. We need a shaman merchant. And a ton of us having a tantrum because recreationally starved. Where's the other caravan? Here. I will hydrate in a moment, Lee. I thought that guy's name was Beware. Where is resource? It is. Seahorse, if you could go and do the trade. I know Corpsey's probably a better one. If you can go and trade with them, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have two trades going at the same time. I'll get that hydrate. Alright. So, I'm kind of looking at the fact that I know how much like steel is like valuable and shit like that. Calm down, Kelly. But I actually would much rather here kind of mine for other stuff. Just because like we have such a fucking amount of things resource wise. There's a lot of uranium, there's plasteel, there's steel. More steel, more steel. Steel was really super great. Except that I have like 50 fucking thousand of it now. And I've got to move that between colonies. There's jade. Let's see what else we got. a lot of uranium. Probably because I don't tend to mine that. There's a lot of plasteel. There's a couple of spits of jade. There's a little bit more plasteel. Okay. To be fair, apart from the couple of bits of jade and the plasteel, I actually think they can probably just disassemble this. I know that we just built it, but I needed to build it to see what was underground because it won't show me if I don't have it. And now that I've had a look around, like there's just a couple of pockets of jade and I could really just like send the rest of those mining things like straight over. Tomboy, that's like the worst possible place you could be, mate. Fucking run back there. Like it's a pretty good chance it's gonna bleed out on its own. Like if you get hit, it's pretty far out there. Alright, you're the bulk goods trader. I don't really want to buy more animals unless we're culling them. We can do with the meat, to be fair. We could do with meat. Can fuel, medicine, components. I don't really need more cloth. I don't need more steel. I feel like almost selling the steel because I have like such a fucking large quantity of resource. I'm actually thinking that might be not a bad idea. Just like I know how much I've probably bought of steel, but I could probably make a fucking mint. Like, look at this. It's like 71,000 at least in steel production. I want more books because they're light enough I can send. I do want to sell the clothing. I want to sell the clothing if I can. I want to sell a lot of the weapons. I want them to stop making new stuff over at Dryden. Okay, we're into like their actual money. Okay, I could still sell them gold as just gold, but I have a lot of resources I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of the poor one. This is why I wanted to keep a couple of things here so I could see very clearly what I do and don't have. Alright. I can take a bit more of their money. That's too much. Alright, we'll take like that much. They'll leave because that will be the rest of that trade. I'll save that. I've got to get Tomboy out of here, but I'll also have the other trade in a second. I'm pretty sure he can probably make... Oh yeah, he's got the turrets activated. Tomboy, don't get shot by the fucking turrets, mate. Tomboy, go back. Go upwards. Go upwards towards the turrets. There we go. Just, if it doesn't break the fence... Just keep going up straight, mate. There you go. Okay, he's safe. I could have bought all their animals too, actually. I realized we can, like, auto-cull those fuckers. This is here. So we will buy your chickens. I'll buy your components, your glitter world medicine, your plasteel. I don't want that shit. Give me your neurotrainers. I'm trying to bulk up on those. I can. We could do with some kidneys, some lungs, probably that thing too. The shock lance. You can have the thrombo horns. They're actually pretty good weapons, but you guys can take those because I don't have like a shit ton of other stuff to sell you. I do have some statues. All right, we do have statues around the place. Now, how do you guys feel about like about 1,000 gold? Pretty reasonable. Okay, let's just bump that up by like another 100. It's too much. How about 50? Still too much. Try 20. Not quite enough. That's extremely close. There we go. Okay, cool. You guys can take that. Tomboy's safe. I'll let you back out. And Seahorse, I know you're hauling something. Can I get Sasha to just dismiss them? Cool. And Chicken, I need you to come out and grab some stuff. I need some people to grab some things. I've got some like really valuable shit here. So I need you to haul that. I need Armadillo if he will haul. I know I've got a lot of thrombos and stuff. They might be out here shortly. But I'd rather just grab a couple of people. You look like you're already coming up here. You're going to read the book. Okay. How about you take the books inside? You take that inside. Seahorse can come back and she can grab... actually, that's a good point. I may not have enough storage. Again. Hold on. This can get expanded just a tiny bit here. I never really